Good evening, fellow Forex traders. It is Tuesday night, November 13th, and I've been a little MIA lately. I've just been busy with life and got caught up in things and haven't been able to commit the time to do one of these videos, or the energy. I have two very young kids, so I work from home and I get pretty tired by the end of the day and end up vegging a lot of the time. But enough about me and my sappy personal life. Let's dig into some charts and talk about what's going on in the Forex markets. The main charts I'm watching right now are the US dollar index and the euro dollar, mostly because the euro USD has been just so easy to trade. Nice setups, very clean chart. I'll get more to that in a minute, but that's been my main focus. And before I look at that, though, let's look at the US dollar index because, again, this has been a nice clean chart to trade. If you've watched my previous videos, I was talking about two kind of areas of support here. There's this minor support that I really got to from a 4-hour time frame. I guess I'll go into that real quick here to kind of better illustrate that. You had these kind of failures here, failure, finally popped through, support, almost support, came through here, but held, and then popped through here and back through. And now if you look at the daily chart, that popped down through, really one day's worth of trading, one candle really. This guy popped through, right? And it didn't even close the daily. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. This candle up here, it didn't even close. It was a daily open lower, so a gap lower. Let's see, this was oddly a gap down here, and it closed up higher in this resistance zone or support zone and moved higher. But from the daily perspective, we also had this big support zone. It's very clear why this is important. There's tons of congestion here. Highs, popped through, came back, still resistance, came through support, and just this one candle here barely touched into this. You can see, that just barely got into that zone. And then you have the 50-day and the 100-day moving averages just below that. So to me, this was pretty clear support. And I wasn't about to get bearish the US dollar, but we did have this strong multi-day move off that support, broke this high here at about 97. And then you see I marked it here. We started printing some bearish divergence, right? We made a higher high in the index, and RSI was not able to do the same. So I actually longed the euro from near the bottom where it was trading. If we jump over to that chart real quick, I longed the euro at that point and wrote it yesterday, and partially today I was taking profits. And now I'm starting to wonder, is it time to get short again? Because in the grand scheme of things, I'm a USD bull right now, which means I want to be shorting euro dollar, other US dollar denominated pairs, but my main focus right now is euro USD. So if we look at the US dollar index chart again, we see today was a pretty ugly day, pretty bearish engulfing pattern or engulfing candle here, but came right down to this 97 level. We're still just hovering right there, right? My belief is we're going for, eventually here, we're going to go after that $100 mark. If you zoomed out, let's see if I can even get there here. This $100 USD mark here was, it's probably better on a weekly. Why don't I just make my life a little bit easier and get to the weekly chart? Okay, I don't have the line here, but here's the $100, 100. You see, we had this touch here, support before it fell through. So my belief is we're going at least to 100, if not higher, to test these highs here, like 103, 104 zone. So I'm bullish USD midterm, at least at a minimum, if not long term. So it's all about where do we start getting back on the bull train yet? Is it now? Is this enough of a bounce? Is today enough of correction? It's hard to believe because this divergence, can it really play out in one day? Maybe. It's definitely possible. And, you know, if we come down to the 4-hour chart, we see we've got the 50 and the 100 moving higher here, ready to catch support price. 200 is moving. So everything's aligned beautifully in terms of trend. So when we look at the euro, we have to wonder, when are we looking to short? And that's a tough question for me to answer right now, because there is a lot of headroom here yet. There's a lot of room to move up into these moving averages. This congestion is going to play, you know, a role if we get there. You see we've got all this that happened not too long ago. So this is going to be a tough zone to chop higher through, right? Anywhere from where we are now, 113.40 up to 114. It's going to be really tough. So do you wait? Can you stay patient that long? I have a hard time. I like to build my position. So if this, you know, continues to go higher, I would like to short more. But right now, I'm starting to scale into shorts, just because, to me, this could start failing anytime, and I'd rather start building my position slowly rather than trying to pick one specific entry point. And on the hourly chart, we've got, you know, recent rejection of the 100-hour moving average. We've worked through the 50-hour pretty easily today. That was pretty obvious to see coming. But how much higher can we chop here is the question. And if you're playing this safe, this is a 15-minute, you're seeing this crossover, so we definitely could move higher, no problem. But if you come out to the 4-hour, I really start looking for exhaustion on the 4-hour. Maybe it's up here at 113.50. Maybe it's a little bit lower. Maybe it's a little bit higher. But we haven't really seen, you know, an even neutral candle on the 4-hour chart yet. We haven't seen a bearish candle. We haven't seen a neutral candle. So I would stay flat until we start seeing that kind of that failure. And, you know, that could come in candle formation. That could come in divergence. Notice on the 1-hour chart, we haven't seen any divergence yet in terms of bearish divergence. This was a higher high here. We made a higher higher in our RSI. So really no signs of slowing down quite yet, in my opinion. But if you're looking to build a decent sized position slowly but surely, and you don't want to, you know, start feeling like you might miss out on this move, you can start nibbling, right? As long as you size accordingly, knowing that if we do go up to, you know, 113.80, 114, that you're comfortable adding still. Like, don't put yourself in a position where you front loaded everything too early and now you can't add when you're supposed to be up here. So if you're going to start now, start small. If you're going to wait, look for a move higher here and some exhaustion, or look for this just to go sideways for a while, these moving averages to catch up, come down, meet up with price, and then start you know, really getting into shorts. But the name of the game, in my opinion, is you want to be long the US dollar. I don't see any reason why that trend would slow down, and, you know, I think Euro USD is the place to do it. So good luck out there, stay safe, and hopefully I'll have a nice video tomorrow or the next day with some updates if we get some good action. All right, take care, gang.